So since 2016, the Waterfield Center opened.
No,
Was it?
since I went back after serving the United Methodist, I served them for nearly 24 years
Okay.
in Russia, in Kazakhstan, Armenia, Tajikistan. And so I was to be posted in Mozambique. And that's when I thought I had done my quarters. I have served faithfully, and it was time to return to my own country. So I went back in 2011,
Okay.
actually, and started the groundwork.
To get the hospital, this
Yes.
health center open.
Well, there was no health center in the picture.
Right.
It
You
was
had to
just
build
going
it.
back
Yeah.
to serve.
Ah.
Yeah, it was just going back to serve. It was not, I'm going back to build a health center. I'm going back to, no, it was just, it's time for me to go home and serve. And so when I came in the house I was living, there was a yard, and in that yard was where the clinic gave birth. And we started from there with curtains that I brought back from Kazakhstan, shower curtains, and then we just wrapped it around a structure. And gradually we started serving the people. Early in the morning, people started forming long lines, and they would come, and sometimes we'll have 100 patients, sometimes we'll have more than that. And
in one day.
in one day, and then at the end of the day, you still have patients, and it'll be pleading for you to be there. But I was just me.
Yeah.
And then the young people that I started bringing on board, uh, shortly out of high school, were the ones who started helping to do blood pressure, doing a little lab work. That's how we worked until 2017, when that place I was living burned, and we moved to the new location. But while we were at this little makeshift clinic, that other clinic was being built, and by just friends, churches who wanted to make a difference, and that's where it started. And now today, we not only came from primary care, but it's now a medical center, and that's where I will stop to extend our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to all of you. We could have never been able to do what we do had it not been for you. Yes, so you may not understand sometimes why you do what you do, but God has truly chosen you to do what you do. We had a little girl uh, in December. I was in the canteen having my lunch, and the other group of community health workers were in the chapel. And I overheard them talk about a case. And this case was about this little girl. Her name is Abigail, but now she's changed her name to Hena. And so I overheard him say she was burned so badly, and she was taken to the government hospital, and they said they couldn't do anything for her, so they were sending her home. And I said, what is that conversation about? Who is this little girl? And then they told me, and I said, tell her uncle to bring her over. So she comes over, and I look at her. Her grandmother was making soap using caustic soda, which is lye, I think. And somebody came to buy from the grandmother the soap. So she took the money to the grandmother. And children, she's only 6 years old. And as she was running back to play outside, she fell right into this tub that the soap was being mixed. And it burned the whole back, her hands, everywhere. And so when I saw her, I thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But we'll keep her, we'll take care of her. And thankfully, all of the supplies you've been sending, since we did not have theater operating, I was saving them, saving, and everything we needed for that little girl was available. Everything. She spent almost 3 months in the clinic with us. And never a day we had to buy anything from anywhere to take care of her. We were able to provide absolutely everything for that family. And so that's why she changed her name. And when I ask her, people come and say, Abigail. She said, no, don't call me Abigail. No. And I'm like, why? What's your name? She said, my name Chris Hena. It was like, Chris Hena, why? And so now, while she was in the hospital, the former president of the country came for her own treatment at the clinic from Monrovia. And so when we had completed our task with her, we took her to see this little girl. And when she saw her, she just really, as a grandmother herself, felt so bad for what had happened. And she promised, if she gets well, just let me know. I will send her to a boarding school so she wouldn't have to live in that condition. So just before I left on Saturday, we met with her and she took us to the boarding school and she's accepted now. I was on my way here, and so my staff will do everything to take her back to the mission school so she can be there. But she is so precious, that little girl. I told her mother when she was going home, because she's a little girl, I said, don't expose her body. Just, get her long thing to cover some of the scars. She comes to my house on Friday night in shorts or a little t-shirt. And I looked at her, I thought, what a resilient young girl. No, she has no fear. She just came. And that brought joy to my heart to see that she survived all of the ordeal. And we're thankful because of all of you in here. That hospital could not handle her because they had nothing. And here we were just next door, and everything was there. Because we never sold anything you sent us. We make sure that they use for every patient that comes. We had surgery the week before I left for 3 days. And we took care of 51 patients. Hernia, fibroids, and lipomas. And none of those patients paid us a penny. Everything we used came from here. Absolutely everything we used in that clinic came from this place. So I am here today with a heart full of gratitude to all of you for everything you have done and continue to do for us. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's not just talk. I truly mean it, because I would never have had anything to work with to take care of that little girl if I didn't have what you sent. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Everyone at the clinic will say the same, that you have enabled us to serve our people. Thank you.
I think I can speak for everyone when we say that it's our honor
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
It's a privilege. A small part.
Yeah. So
That's a big part.
the gratitude is mutual for what you do in the world, and the love you spread too. So yeah, and then so I guess that's it. We'll sign off from Through These Hands in Slatington, Pennsylvania.